The more and more time goes on, the more people are getting complacent and just defending absolutely bad games. I think it's crazy now that so much communities of just gamers are just content and fine with just games releasing as absolute buggy and unplayable messes. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, two games that ended up releasing recently, two big games, and they're not really that good. First is being Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'm pretty sure we all see the clip. The game is basically unplayable. It's some Cyberpunk 77 of Nintendo games. It's stuttering, constant crashing, terrible frame rate. Like when you're on your Pokebike and you jump, the game will literally start stuttering because it can't keep up. Half of the game doesn't load and render, and there's just so many issues with it. And Warzone 2.0 is another game that ended up releasing, which is also basically just unplayable. You can't even consistently, stably stay in a match. If you do stay in a match, it's one of the most terrible, laggiest messes of all time. And so much people are just excusing it because they're saying that it's launch. Like, oh, the game just launched. Of course the game isn't going to be perfect. Like, you really expect the game just to release, and for Pokemon case, a game that you spent $60 for and it worked, they will go fix it later, and I think that's something really bad for the industry. I just don't think it's good that so much people are just, again, fine and complacent with this, especially if it's a case like Pokemon. Pokemon is a AAA game that you have to pay for. It is $60, even $70 in some other countries that you have to pay for this game, and it straight up doesn't work. And yes, Warzone is free and anyone can go download Warzone, but it doesn't excuse the fact that you're just doing something unplayable. Just waiting for the developers to fix it later just isn't good. Like, why is it being so archaic when someone release a game or something for you to download, you expect it to work? And this is something that's now happening on more communities. I remember back in the day, not really back then, but really a little bit back in the past, you only used to see this level of like white knighting and defending for games like Destiny and like looter shooters and like Anthem, where like Destiny fans back then will defend Bungie no matter what they do. Like they'll release Destiny 2 at launch, which was very bad at launch because it had no content. People who made their whole life, like their whole purpose was just to defend Bungie like there was some paid PR master. And so they don't defy the name of the Holy Grail Destiny. It was always something you used to see in communities like that, but now I'm seeing it like everywhere. Call of Duty fans are doing it. Pokemon fans has always been doing it. But those aren't the only two games. Games like Overwatch 2, when it first launched, was basically unplayable. You couldn't log into the game, and if you did log into the game, the servers were so bad you'd get kicked out instantly. Armies of people were defending that. And even games like Saints Row and Gotham Knight, two games that just released absolutely terribly. You have a lot of people defending it, especially in Gotham Knight's case. It's a game that you could also barely play, and it runs really bad. And they're like, don't worry, they're gonna fix it later. We need to stop this, because it's just going to keep on getting worse. Like, publishers already know that they can just, like, push out anything no matter how unfinished it is, and people will just defend it. And the reason why I don't like fix it later is because most games don't get fixed later. Most AAA games that release badly, publishers just abandon it. The game makes absolutely no money. They just give up, which means you wasted your money. Like, something like Cyberpunk, the fact that CD Projekt Red stick to fix the game is rare, because most other publishers just would have saw how the game isn't making money anymore, and they would have just dropped it instantly. And all those people who just bought an absolute broken mess just would have got scammed. And I think this is just something really bad, and I think we need to hold ourselves up to like more standards and just like stop supporting, because the only way to make change is if you just don't buy the game. They mostly speak my money. So I think the main reason to fix this is just if a game released badly, just don't buy it. But I also know that's physically impossible. Games like Pokemon, they're going to release yearly. You already know next year they're going to have another Pokemon game ready. And I'm going to be positive that that game is going to run even worse than this one. And people are still going to buy it, and there's still going to be people running up and defending it. But I just think this is a trend that just absolutely needs to stop. Anyway, this is just something that I wanted to talk about. My name is Lua. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to the YouTube thing, as I have a Twitter, Lua2Stars. Don't forget to follow it. You have a good day or night. See ya.